in the sky.
Sarms, steroid, Ibutamoren,
Yes.
MK677.
Purpose. It did have a clinical purpose when it was studied, and it is legal for purchase in the US. It is not legal for human consumption. So you can buy it and you can feed it to your lab rat. Okay? Hey guys, thanks for clicking on my video. Fit Dad Chris here, and if this is your first time here, welcome to the channel. You're more than welcome to hang around. I'm going to share my perspective on MK677. A lot of people think it's a SARM. It's actually a growth hormone secretagogue. So if you're interested, I will first be giving a brief synopsis of what it is and kind of what it does, but I'm not Derek from More Plates, More Dates. So I will just give kind of a synopsis of what it is, and then I'll share my own personal experience with it, and then maybe that'll help you decide whether or not you should use it. So first, I want to start off by saying I'm not a doctor. I'm not a fitness professional or of any kind. I'm just a random gym bro who has a lab rat that I like to experiment with sometimes. Now, I always use minimal effective doses because I want to keep it as healthy as possible. And I always go to the doctor, get my blood work done every 3 months, and always keep my blood pressure monitored as well as all the other parameters. I do lots of cardio to combat, any negative side effects from using any performance enhancing drug. So, this is just my personal experience with my lab rat. I'm not condoning you doing anything at all. Always consult with your doctor first to make sure you're healthy enough to even, dive off into the performance enhancing realm. But if you're new to it all, what I would suggest you do is just go to More Plates, More Dates. Almost said moreplatesmoredates.com. Go to More Plates, More Dates YouTube channel. That's Derek. And just start watching videos. You don't even have to type out More Plates, More Dates. Just type in MPMD and then whatever performance enhancer that you're interested in. And if you're interested in just the basics, just type that in to the YouTube search bar, and then start there, and then also do the same thing with Coach Greg. I do think that Derek kind of delves off into the pharmacology of it even more, a little deeper than Coach Greg is, but that doesn't take away from Coach Greg's experience as a pro bodybuilder for over 20 years. So I think Coach Greg's done like 54 shows, so he's pretty much tried it all. So he does have a lot of hands-on experience with it, with pretty much every performance enhancer there is. So definitely check both of them out. I will go ahead and link both of their channels in the description box to make it easy for you guys. Alright guys, so the first thing we're going to do is summarize what MK677 is and what it does. So MK, contrary to popular belief, is not a SARM. It is a growth hormone secretagogue, and take 3. MK is a growth hormone secretagogue and a ghrelin receptor agonist. So basically how it works is, and like I said, I'm not Derek from moreplates.com, moreplatesmoredates.com. I am just a random person who uses his lab rat for experiments. Okay? You got me? Right. Okay. So it works by suppressing your hunger hormone ghrelin, which is the one that tells you that you're full, and that's going to make you hungry all the time. And by doing that, it's also going to release more natural growth hormone. So basically, for like the clinical uses for it, when it was studied for clinical use, is for like things like muscular dystrophy, diseases that cause that, like osteoporosis. So it's not just like a, take something and get huge, just something that somebody put together for that sole purpose. It did have a clinical purpose when it was studied, and it is legal for purchase in the US. It is not legal for human consumption. So you can buy it and you can feed it to your lab rat. Okay? Alright, so what are the appeals? Why would somebody want to use MK677 in the first place? Well, it's a growth hormone secretagogue, so that's going to make you produce more natural growth hormone. Whereas when you use GH, you're going to spend an insane amount of money to get the same effect. So what appeals to most people is that it comes in oral form. I think I have seen some suppliers that have injectable MK now, but most people are using MK because they don't want to go off into actually having to pin and inject things into their muscles, usually into their glute muscles, the ventral glute. But they don't want to have to go through pinning and doing all that. So it comes in oral form, and not only that, but the other most appealing thing about it is it doesn't suppress any of the male sex hormones, like testosterone. So it will not suppress your natural testosterone production. Therefore, you won't need to do a PCT when you get done with it. And on top of that, the gains that you do make, because growth hormone usually works, instead of increasing the size or length of the muscle fibers that you have, it produces tiny new fibers, which is why it takes a very long time for you to see the results from it, because those tiny fibers aren't going to show themselves for quite a while. So whether you're using MK or GH, it's that same kind of effect. So MK also increases your bone density, so people that have been sitting around a long time, their bones are really weak and not dense at all, it'll help that as well. Not only, you know, muscular dystrophy, it's going to increase your recovery time. It's going to help you sleep better, which will in turn also improve your recovery time and your recovery overall, even repairing better than you would without it. Fat loss, it helps people that are overweight to kind of build more muscle tissue and use more stored energy. I guess it kind of increases your metabolism, if you will. And there's plenty of other benefits to it as well. But with all those benefits, there's always going to be some, some negatives, right? Some sides, some cons. We went over the pros, but there's got to be cons, right? So you're going to hold more water weight. So for me, when I hold more water weight, my blood pressure goes up. I myself am predisposed to hypertension. My mom, she passed away from, she had an aneurysm, and she was only 40 years old, but we think she had undiagnosed hypertension. That's what my doctor thinks, because to my knowledge, she didn't go to the doctor for anything, so we never saw it coming. Another thing I've seen a lot, I personally my doctors didn't say anything about my blood pressure when I was using MK, or my blood sugar. So blood sugar is known, especially because you're eating more as well, it's known to spike your blood sugar. So something about the way it's manipulating your hunger hormones, that plus the added, consumption of energy, it can be known to spike your blood sugar. And the third one for me, which was blood pressure, holding all that water increased my blood pressure. My experience with MK, I've been using testosterone for a while now. My doctor monitors my blood work, like I've said before. If you've been following my channel, you know that I was natty for almost 2 years, and then after I built up a little foundation, since I'm 30 years old, had my testosterone levels checked when I was still natty. So when I had my testosterone levels checked, I was right at 500, which isn't terrible, but it's not, yeah, I wanted to make some more gains. I'm not even going to act like, oh, I had to have TRT. I'm not hiding anything. My free test levels were fine. But you don't have to study my channel or me very long to see that I don't have the best genetics. There's just some things like I will never achieve. I'll probably never be the size of Big Rainy. 300 pounds shredded, like 9% body fat. That's just, I don't have the genetics for it. Now, it doesn't matter how many PEDs. I could use every single PED for years, and I would still not be able to achieve that just because my genetics don't allow for it. So the reason I wanted to use MK was because, like I said, GH, instead of increasing the size of the muscle fibers you already have, it creates new muscle fibers. So for hard gainers or ectos like myself and many others, that's very appealing because increasing your actual muscle fibers is going to provide room for you to get bigger and have more muscle mass and to, you know, look more aesthetically pleasing. So of course everybody wants to do that, right? So that's the whole point. So, you know, no matter what you use though, at the end of the day, if you're not putting in the hard work and dedication, unless you're a 10 on the mesomorph scale and a 0 on the other two, you're gonna have to put in the work and you're gonna have to be dedicated to your diet. So, but yeah, so I wanted to use MK to obviously get bigger. So what I was doing was I started testosterone and I increased from my TRT dose up to 200 milligrams. No, I went to 250. So 250 milligrams test, and I was using 10 milligrams a day. So the bare minimum of MK677. And after 4 weeks, I threw in some Trin Ace and Trinenthate. I used 120 milligrams of Trinenthate, and let's see, I think it figured up to 150 milligrams a week of Trin Ace. So I was pinning twice a week, and I was using an enthate and acetate so that the acetate would hit right then, and then as the acetate levels dropped, then the enthate levels were peaking. So I really was able to keep my levels pretty steady that way. And I just ran the test base really low, and I was running under 300 milligrams of Trin, and I was, at the time, I was thinking that was a small dose. So it was great. Made fantastic gains. I'll put up a few pictures, and I made fantastic gains. Everything was going great. And then about 6 weeks after I started the Trin, so I was getting results from the MK, and the Trin was starting to peak. My blood pressure started to do this stuff. So yeah, my doctors are concerned and everything. I had to drop Trin immediately. I actually did another video. I'll put a card up where I did a super chat on John Meadows live Q&A, and he went in depth and went over how to get my blood pressure back down, and we implemented the things that he said, the amyl peptide, and you can check that video out. You know, if you guys have been following the channel, you know how big of an inspiration John was to me. So having him like get so personable with me, and I've messaged him before on Instagram, and he's always been super polite and answered whatever questions I had to ask, totally free, you know, never even asking, you know, never saying anything like you got to pay for that. He was such a great guy, and yeah, rest in peace to John Meadows. My thoughts are with his family and closest friends, especially his 2 sons. So my blood pressure was through the roof. I kept on the MK though. I dropped the Trin because I didn't think the MK had my blood pressure up. I thought that I was taking such a small dose that it wouldn't matter, right? So we completely let the Trinenthate get out of my system, 5 half-lives. So after a month, my blood pressure was still kind of high. It wasn't, you know, 180 over 110 anymore, but it was, I think the higher reading I got, you know, 6 weeks. It was 6 weeks after the last time I pinned Trin. It was 160 over 100. And I was like, what? You know, and I was still taking 10 milligrams of MK. And then I tapered down to, instead of 10 milligrams every day, I tapered it down to every other day. And we went on another 3 weeks and waited. And then I'm getting go to the doctor, and my blood pressure's still 150 over 100. And I'm like, are you serious? So I'm doing cardio, you know, I'm using the amyl peptide, everything. And finally, I just dropped it all together I want to say it was a little over 2 weeks ago, maybe close to 3 weeks. But anyway, I dropped it all together. Still got some. Yeah, I still got like quite a bit. Oh, I guess I can give it time to focus on the glare. Yeah, that's the stuff right there. Ibutamoren. So, after dropping the MK, my blood pressure finally leveled back out to normal. So, and like I said, I'm predisposed to hypertension in my family, so you may not have that same problem. You may be able to run tren and even higher doses than me and run 30 milligrams of MK a day and not have a single issue. The thing is, you need to be aware of conditions that you already have, and you need to make sure that there is no underlying issues. Some things stay in your system longer than others. So you might be a week into, because it takes it, you know, like MK takes a long time to build up in your system, just so it's going to take a while to get back out of your system. So if you get, you know, 30 days into the cycle and you have, you know, it could be a liver issue, it could be something else, you know, because you've got your kidneys and liver are working, which is also why I highly recommend everybody hit up my boy Ryan Ankrum, or just any cycle support at all. But this one is my favorite one, Shield. But anyway, yeah, I keep plugging all these brands, and no, I'm not sponsored by anybody. But get you some Shield from Final Boss Performance. From Ryan. Use Ryan Ankrum's code. You know, help a dude out. He's a cool dude. I don't care what all the haters say. Ank's a cool dude. So, as long as you go to the doctor, get a physical done, make sure that you're in good health. Make sure you don't have a high heartbeat, a high resting heart rate. Make sure you don't have high blood pressure. Just make sure. Don't just order something and think, I'm going to take this and get huge. Because odds are your diet's shit, your workout plan's shit, then you're not going to make any gains, bro. You're just going to get all the side effects and no benefit. But hey, if you stayed till the end of the video, please don't forget to leave a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button, guys. I just hit 150 subscribers. I'm ready to turn that into 1,500. And I can do it with your guys' help. If you found any value in this video, give it a share. Share it with somebody that you know that has been thinking about using MK677. Enjoyed this one? If you enjoyed this style of video, let me know in the comments below so that I know to make more videos. Because MK677, I'm just going to tell you, that's not the only performance enhancer I've tried. So, we could make a couple more videos. We could even make a playlist of it. So, I really appreciate you guys staying till the end. Check out one of the videos in the end screens or the cards that I put up, whichever one interests you. Like I said, I've got content for everybody, whether you're natty or not natty, or whether you're trying to lose weight or trying to build muscle or trying to do both at the same time. I've got videos for you guys. So please, please hit that subscribe button, because that is a free way. It doesn't cost you anything, that you can help me get closer to turning this into my part-time job. Because I work hard, I want to help people. As many of you know, if you've been following the channel, you know I don't have the best past, because who does have a perfect past? But mine's probably a little worse than most people, but I've really turned my life around, and now I want to help others do the same thing. So thank you guys so much again, and y'all have a great one.